Guys, it's Christy Croft. So for this week, we're talking about biographical nonfiction, and I wanted to share with you this book I found at the library. It's called Ivan the Terrible, Tsar of Death. It was written by Sean Price, and it was published by Scholastic in 2008. So basically, this follows the life of Ivan the Terrible, the first Tsar of Russia. It starts from his birth. He was orphaned at a really young age, so he was the ruler of Russia, but he was kind of puppeteered by all of his counselors, so they really did most of the work, and they treated him like crap. Like, he didn't even get good clothes to wear, he didn't get a lot of food, just because they really abused him. So this cruelty kind of inspired his later actions. He just really despised those counselors. And eventually, when he was 13 years old, he was so sick of it that he actually ordered them to be cut up and fed to their wild dogs. So yeah, 13 years old, and he did that. After that, he just gets worse and worse as a person. I guess it depends on what you think, but he did a lot of cruel things. Namely, one of them, let's see, I guess he and his friends, one of their favorite pastimes was to go throughout the villages and just trample peasants. Like, he craved violence. He really did. He thought it was so entertaining. He loved to hunt. He loved to inflict pain on other living things. I even read in here that he liked to drop, like, cats from high buildings and just watch them as they fell and as they hit the concrete. Just watch them die in pain. So, really creepy guy. He also liked, let's see, watching a man be eaten by a bear. It's like a popular contest. Let's see, and then also, he was so jealous of the praise given to his eldest son, who would replace him as Tsar. So he was so jealous that he actually killed him in a fit of rage. He smacked him on the head with his steel-tipped rod of some sort, and he also killed his pregnant daughter-in-law. After that, he kind of grew paranoid and really just thought his enemies were everywhere looking for him. So he just didn't really do good things. So this book fits the biographical nonfiction just because it does tell the life of Ivan the Terrible. I think the author does a great job of distinguishing fact and fiction. He, throughout the book, he gives you the straight facts. He doesn't insert his own opinions anywhere. But at the end, he asks the reader to think about what is morally right, whether these are the qualities that a ruler should have. Yeah, so he asks, like, in the end, it may come down to a simple question: does anything justify the killing of innocent people? Because Ivan the Terrible thought being cruel, you had to be a strong leader in order to keep order in the nation. So I like how it ended with that. It kind of helps children just process things and think more deeply. Also, he has a list of sources in the back of the book just to show you that he's getting all of this information from historical books, not just from his own knowledge. Let's see, the subject is really interesting. It includes, like, the most terrifying events of Ivan's life. So I think those really capture children's interest just because they're so horrible. The illustrations are great. They're actually famous paintings captured in, like, a photograph. Let's see. I wouldn't recommend it for children younger than 10 years old, just because of the subject. He's not a pleasant guy to read about. But I guess it depends on how mature a child is. But yeah, it was really interesting. I liked it a lot. I didn't feel uplifted after I read it. I felt like he was like one of the main characters in a Game of Thrones book. He's just so horrible. But one of the things I loved while I was reading this is I remembered this face-to-face with Elder Oaks a couple of months ago. Or no, it was Elder Cook. But it was a couple of historians talking about the questionable events that happened in Latter-day Saint history. And they say it's best not to judge the past. Matt Groh, who was in that face-to-face, he said, "The past is a foreign country. They do things differently there. We do not want to be ugly tourists when we visit. We want to try to understand them based on their culture." So I thought of that when reading this. I mean, I think he's a horrible person. I would have hated him. I despise this man. But in the context of his culture, there were a lot of savage people in Russia, and he did need to lead with a strong hand to protect his people. Maybe he didn't need to do quite all of the horrendous things he did, but it's just something to think about. So I liked it. It really makes me think, and I enjoyed it a lot. But I hope you guys like it too, and if you want to pick it up, I'm going to be returning it to the library soon. Bye.